Ah, the future is here. There are a bunch of cars driving themselves around Denver. Waymo went autonomous this summer, months after bringing in a fleet to the Mile High City for testing. Only Waymo employees can catch a ride for now, and perhaps that's for the best. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kyle Clark.
And I'm Kim Christensen. As those cars log more miles, we're learning more about how the rules of the road are enforced when there's no one in the driver's seat. 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj is live with what she's learned. Shalima?
Hey there, guys. Yeah, when this all launched last summer, they had what they referred to as human specialists sitting in the driver's seat, and they were there to basically make observations and then report back to the company. They are gone now. That was the first phase of testing on Denver roads. Now they're on to the next one.
It's a ride-hailing service hailed as a way for drivers to get a break from driving. But before you place your order, you might want to pump the brakes. Waymo is now fully autonomous in Denver, but rides aren't available to everyone yet.
Definitely curious.
Morgan Gavin hasn't been inside a driverless vehicle before, but she's not opposed to it.
I think a lot of things are becoming AI these days, and honestly, I don't necessarily trust a lot of the drivers in Denver, so I'm up for whatever's the safest option, to be honest.
Waymo tells 9 News they've been going driverless since last month. For now, only employees can hitch a ride. Waymo is already up and running in several major cities. In Denver, they're still navigating the testing phase.
I think there's a lot of smart people out there, formally educated people out there. They've done the work, so I can trust them. If I can get on an airplane, I'm sure they can figure out how to make a car drive itself.
Dottie tells us in the case of a parking violation, they'd issue a citation to the vehicle, which is attached to the registered car owner. Colorado State Patrol says Waymos are equipped with technology that recognizes lights and sirens and responds by pulling over and unlocking. A trooper or an officer could then use the vehicle's audio system to speak directly with a remote team from Waymo. But under Colorado law, they say operating companies aren't currently considered drivers, so no citation would be issued. If a Waymo were involved in a crash, they'd investigate. After that, they'd begin talks with the Attorney General's office to determine what steps should be taken against the company, be it citations or legal consequences. According to Waymo, the training wheels are set to come off later this year in Denver.
Now, Dottie told us that when it comes to moving violations and crashes, that is something we should be reaching out to Denver police about, and we did, but we did not hear back from DPD. Reporting live, Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
You know, often you don't notice the air. Kind of breathe it in, breathe it out. We've noticed the air lately.
A lot.
Right?
For a lot of days.
Yeah, it's just a little chewy out there. Hazy, hot. Meteorologist Kaylee Chalmers is along now with a look at the air quality and the forecast ahead.
Yeah, you called it earlier kind of soupy. We'll keep that soup spoon handy because it's going to stick around this haze for the next couple of days, as will the heat. Temperatures still quite warm outside the 9 News studios. Right now, we're in the mid-70s around the metro area. Temperatures are going to be dropping, but it is going to take some time. We are going to be in the 70s until tomorrow morning. We're going to reach the 60s finally, and then check out how quickly we warm up. By 10 a.m., we're back in the low 80s. Made it up, your official high in the metro area, 96 degrees. We're talking about triple digits, Greeley and Fort Collins. We're going to see those triple digits even here on Saturday, where we do have a heat advisory. Again, this is for Saturday, a weather impact alert because of the high heat and the concerns with that heat. Live radar, we're quiet, not too much to talk about. Air quality alert, we have one in place again for tomorrow. Could go into the weekend. Areas of smoke linger. We do have high fire danger for the mountains as well as the heat. Hey, a cool down in the forecast along with some rain. Can you believe it? We'll talk more about when we can expect that coming up in your complete forecast in just a minute.
Colorado Parks and Wildlife says a man drowned after flipping his kayak in Park County today. It happened at 11 Mile Reservoir, about 50 miles east of Buena Vista. CPW says high winds blew over the kayak mid-afternoon. They say the man was wearing a life jacket, but it didn't fit properly and it covered his face. Officers say the man was unconscious when they found him. They performed CPR, but it was too late. Park County coroner will release his name.
And I ask each one of you to search your heart and be compassionate and understand that not only our family was impacted, but that driver was impacted. And if they're brought to justice, their family will be impacted. So not only pray for me and my family, praying for Arthur, but pray for that driver.
An emotional message tonight from the father of Arthur Williams. The 26-year-old was killed in a hit and run in Aurora. His family is now pushing for justice, but also offering up forgiveness to the person responsible. His father spoke at a vigil tonight more than a week after a driver hit him on South Powhatan Road near Jewel and E470. Arthur's family describes him as an active young man who spent his time playing sports. He died sometime between the night of July 26th and the morning of July 27th. He was riding a bike as he was training for his first triathlon rather. His father is now pushing for safety improvements along the road, like bike lanes and a lowered speed limit.
That's something I want to fight for, so that another family they won't have to deal with a memorial, reduced to items, reduced to photos. I want their loved ones to come home to them.
This afternoon, Aurora police announced they've identified what they call a vehicle of interest in the case, and they're working to learn more about that, and we'll bring updates, and we will bring updates when they come into the newsroom.
A new fire on the western slope has led to evacuations. The 310 fire is burning on Morrisana Mesa near Parachute between Glenwood and Grand Junction. Evacuees are currently being placed at the Rodeo Fairgrounds in Parachute. At last check, it's burned more than 300 acres and nothing yet on containment. The 10th largest wildfire in recorded state history is now fully contained. Lightning sparked the Ferris Fire June 27th that burned nearly 65,000 acres or more than 101 square miles across Dolores and Montezuma counties. No buildings burned, fortunately, and no one was hurt.
Denver Water says the levels of its reservoirs will keep dropping in the months ahead. Its largest, Dillon Reservoir, is down 20 feet. It's expected to go down another 8 to 10 by Labor Day. And while it's tough to see, businesses are making adjustments to draw in customers. 9
News reporter Colton Chavez has been on this for us for a while, and he made another trip up to Summit County to show us the adaptations.
During this year's drought,
obviously more water would be wonderful.
Dillon Reservoir has lost 20 feet of water.
Whatever we have to do, we're going to keep the show going on.
It's tough for businesses that benefit from the water.
We're budgeting about a 20% decrease in revenues. Does that answer your question?
Craig Simpson is in charge of the marina and says all they can do is work with the water they've got.
And we had over 30 boats that showed up here and had a regatta. We have the Dillon Open coming up.
Craig says this year they also upgraded the Tiki Bar and built a stage for live music.
Know when to fall down, know when to walk away.
The hope is it will show visitors another side of Dillon Reservoir.
In like 3 weeks, I'll be shot. So it's the new last name. I'm here for my bachelorette.
Lainey Meyer is from Texas and can't tell the difference.
I wouldn't know any different. It looks gorgeous.
An encouraging perspective.
We are more than happy to keep the show going on.
A reminder that even in a drought.
And so the show must go on is bigger than just a job. We're trying to provide for people.
From Dillon Marina, Colton Chavez, 9 News.
The U.S. Forest Service and the Summit County Sheriff's Department figured today was as good as any to recover an ATV that's been sitting underwater there for 8 years. They say the ATV likely fell through the ice back in 2018, right in the middle of Green Mountain Reservoir. That reservoir is only about 20% full right now. The low water levels gave the teams a chance to get out to it via kayak, hook up some inflatable buoys, and slowly pull that ATV back to shore.
This is a perfect opportunity to get something that it's obviously never going to be used again, and it's just sitting in a reservoir that people drink out of. I think it's a good opportunity to do something for the folks on the Front Range and also clean up our local community.
A snowmobile was also seen on the newly exposed shoreline as the water drops. Crews pulled that out of the mud. The sheriff's office says they have notified the owner of the ATV and hope to return it. That's all good. Throw a little Armor All cleaner on that, some WD-40, that thing's going to be good as new.